What was a sketchy cheap buy that ended up being one of your best purchases? I was traveling in Japan and needed nail clippers. All I could find is this cheap pink Hello Kitty grooming kit. These clippers are the best I ever owned. They have stayed sharp and functional for 20 years. I'm very protective of them. Everyone in the house knows you don't touch Dad's pink Hello Kitty nail clippers. And if you do, you perish. Seed packets from the dollar store. While in college my boyfriend and I were broke. Really broke. But I still wanted to do something to celebrate spring. We were getting a few cheap things at the dollar store when I noticed they were selling these seeds packets from a big old bin that you had to dig through. 4 for $1. No tax. I immediately begged to buy one despite our strict budget. Boyfriend was incredulous I'd want to buy sketchy seeds, but dutifully handed me a quarter. I ended up picking out tomatoes. Well, we got home, and I carefully placed about 3 seeds in washed out cans. I watered them, and watched them sprout. I loved tending to my little garden. I ended up with 3 beautiful huge tomato plants. It was a bumper crop, more than we could eat. I sold the extra produce to my classmates. Made like $25. Good seeds. Real life Stardew Valley. Dad bought me a flannel jacket for $2 from the equivalent of a dollar store in 1994. Wore it for everything you can think of. Wore it yesterday. Still going strong after 25 years. It's amazing that the jacket held up. Yes, but special kudos to you for still being able to fit in it for 25 years. Bought my kitty for $20 on Craigslist from a legit meth addict. I had never had a cat before, and this little meow factory has been my best friend ever since. No label old beat to shit vinyl acetate record with handwritten that'll be the day on it. Paid $1. Ended up being a live Buddy Holly recording. Sold it for $970. I bought a blanket in Mexico in 1986 for $5. I still have it, and it is super soft and comfy. It has been abused, washed, etc, and it is still in great shape. Does it have a tiger on it? Lol. My parents have one with a deer on one side and a huge marijuana leaf on the other. It was advertised as a deer one. $12 rain boots at Value Village. I've thrashed these things living in rural Alaska, and they are still totally watertight 2 years later. Stain removers from the dollar store are surprisingly effective. I bought a tube of toothpaste called Right Clean, and then when I looked closely, the cap said Colgate. So I'm guessing companies sell their excess supply to dollar stores and just relabel the contents. Or like with a lot of products, they are made at the same place and literally only the packaging changes. At the end of a long road trip with some mates, I bought a $20 pair of sunglasses in a gas station just outside Chicago. They fit me better than any pair of sunglasses ever did, or ever will, and they made me look awesome. For years I constantly received compliments about them, and was asked where I got them. I lost them after 5 long years, and have hated myself for it ever since. They were so no name they didn't even have a brand name on them at all. So I have no idea who made them. I have no way of finding that gas station, either. I've literally spent hundreds of dollars trying to find sunglasses that come close to that same perfect fit / style, but I can't. Share a picture of these shades. Ensure someone will be able to identify them. It's been 8 hours. We've lost Op, just as he had lost his shades. Op probably went on a quest to find his shades. Kinda like the movie Taken, except he's after shades. I randomly found a wedding videographer online, and booked him for a very affordable rate for my wedding, assuming it wouldn't be very good quality. 2 weeks after the wedding, he emails me a high quality, well edited video. He had a drone I hadn't noticed, because he was outside of the venue getting B-roll with it, before I even started getting ready for the big day. I was floored, and now I recommend him to everyone who ever plans to get married ever. Edit. He has definitely upped his prices since then. He did the videography for my wedding last summer, and rightfully so, because he does great work. Do him a favor, and don't tell people what you paid him. Dude needs to up his rate. I drive cars so old they'll still have tape decks. I bought this fake cassette tape with a headphone style plug that comes with it. You put the tape in the player, just like it was a cassette, and plug the jack into your phone, and it uses the car's speaker system as an external speaker for the phone. I was so skeptical of it working, because it was all of $5 and I've been using it at least 10 years and it works perfectly and beautifully. Plus bonus side eye every time I pull it out, to use it with someone new in the car. These give you so much better sound quality than those shitty FM transmitters. I had a car with no CD, just cassette. Tried the FM thing. Then someone gave me their cassette, 3.5mm adapter, and it was amazing quality. I bought a turtle for $5 in Chinatown and she's turning 3 this year. The pizza expenses are murder though. I bought a $17 toaster about 20 years ago, and it's still going strong. I bought a knockoff backpack in Turkey. It was like $25 and has lasted me longer than other people's $200 backpacks. Clarification. Backpacking backpack as in luggage, or for overnight hiking, not a book bag. I got a $20 backpack off a street vendor in New York, because we had too much stuff to take in our luggage. The damn thing went to work with me every day for 9 years. I have never had another that good. For any amount of money. I bought a button-down shirt from the thrift store in the mid-90s, that I still wear today. The shirt is obviously even older. It doesn't have much wear on it either. I think it made of rayon and something else. The brand is Kmart. They don't make them like they used to. Does Kmart even still make anything? A little $40 speaker set for my bedroom TV I got in 2006 and still works great. Which one is it? It's the room with the bed in it. I bought a fake wood, plastic, mantle clock from Value City for like $10 because I needed something for my first apartment. I received a surprising number of compliments on it and was asked more than once if it was a family heirloom because it looked so old. It also lasted for like 10 years until some movers broke it. I was kind of proud of displaying that stupid cheap clock. To the movers, you broke my family heirloom. Look how they massacred my boy. We bought an Ellis Island boat tour in New York from one of the guys on the streets. We were lead into a van and treated extremely well, so we weren't immediately sketched out too bad. We don't know New York, so we ended up driving 20 minutes through Manhattan by 3 men to an apparently abandoned sketchy dock with no one there. That's when we were convinced we were being scammed or sold into human trafficking. Gave us a post-it note with a number, and they said to go around the abandoned factory to the pier and they were waiting for us. So we took our native tourist ass around the building alone expecting nothing, and they would just pull off and scam us. Sure enough, we turned the corner and there was a big boat with a bunch of people, and it was legit. We had an amazing tour and a lot of fun with free food and drinks. So overall great decision, but in hindsight we should have been murdered or at least scammed. Mobile edit. Yes, I rushed the story and misspelled a couple things. I'm a leading native, scammed, and all the others just for you guys. You murder those dinks. Giddo? What I mean? Murder? What did ya do? Giddo? Yeah, said to take him for a ride. Ah hell. Giddo, you said make it, so they never forget. Don't worry about it. I did what you wanted me to do. I took care of them. I risked a huge box of magic cards. I spent around $200. It easily came out around 2k to 3k. This box was just a random pickup on the internet from Craigslist. A $27 dash cam. Got it off Amazon. Its shaper image included an SD card and was $27. I thought it was gonna be a waste. It wasn't. I have it on whenever I drive. Turns on automatically. Records automatically. You can turn auto rewrite on or off. Has a high quality camera. Infrared LED for nighttime driving. The mounting mechanism works great. Its stab can has never fallen. It's not the best in the world. It's not 4K recording, but it's 1080, high 120 FPS, and was $27, when some other can run up into the high hundreds. 10/10 would buy again. 10/10 would gift to someone. Actually works great, and was $27. How much was it? The brand name is $27 dash cam. Costs $199. That's how they get ya. Third edit. It was Cenotes Casa Tortuga. Thank to you /MistyJish for suggesting that it might be this one. Final edit. I must say, after looking in Street View, it has changed a bit from when I went. Maybe if the signs had been at the entrance when I was there, it would look more welcoming. Edit. Formatted on mobile. I went to Mexico a few years back with my family, and it was our first time there. We only left the hotel once, because it was so damn hot. On that day, after visiting an ancient temple, we decided to go to a cenote to swim and cool off. We arrived at the bus station and this kinda sketchy taxi driver approached us and asked where we wanted to go. My father mentioned a very popular cenote, but the taxi driver recommended a quieter place and said he'd do it for half price, even though it was already dirt cheap. for some reason my father agreed, which I thought was mad, so me and my family got in his taxi and drove off. We were riding down the freeway when he starts indicating left. I see no roadway he's indicating. We turn off onto a dirt track and into the jungle. For about 10 minutes we're getting deeper and deeper into the jungle until we reach a house. My father is told to get out and pay at this small shack, and the rest if isn't allowed out of the car. 5 minutes pass, and by this time we were freaking out in the car. I didn't really feel like getting kidnapped or anything, but my father returns and we continue into the jungle. Soon we reach a clearing with a few people smoking round a table and a couple with swimsuits on. Now I'm but more relaxed because there are other customers there. After getting changed we have a short walk to this beautiful, crystal clear cenote with overhangs and plants hanging down. It was amazing. We got out and thought money well spent, but we were led on a tour around 4 other cenotes where we swam under bats hanging in caves and learnt about the history of the cenotes. To top it off, I got to jump off a 10-foot drop into a pool where I could see the bottom about 20 feet below the surface. Best experience we had in Mexico, and I'd love to go back, but I don't think I've ever been so frightened as I was going down that deserted dirt road. Edit. Lots of people think they have been here or want to find it, so I wrote a description in a comment further down and will paste it here. I'd love to find out what it was called. I'll try to describe it as best I can to give you a better chance. It might not all be correct because it was a few years ago. A long, straightish dirt track led to a house on the right side and then continued to the main area. It was a sort of covered patio with lockers and changing room / toilet sort of behind it. The first cenote I went in was down some wooden steps that I think went straight into the water. It was a narrow and long cenote that was quite deep. It went through a cave with stalactites / stalagmites hanging from the ceiling. The second cenote was a horseshoe shape where you could jump in or walk down a ramp on the side. Might have been steps. You could swim into a cave where there were a few bats in the roof. I think there was another one after that, but I can't remember. Then the last one was a long thin lake / river that went in a curve to the left. To get to this one we had to walk along a dirt road for about 5 or 10 minutes. At the end of it was a larger pool area and there were some steps leading up to a jump off the edge to the left. That was about 10 feet I think. I had a similar experience in Jamaica. Got off the cruise ship and driver approached us and took us to the local beach we had heard about. Only one other couple from the ship there, but then he told us he'd be back in 3 hours to check on us and take us to his favorite restaurant for dinner, to even assure us that he'd be back. He refused payment for the first part of the trip. Absolutely wonderful man. There are truly good people out there. It's a shame they are overshadowed by the scumbag scam artists. Went to a garage sale. Little girl was in charge. She's like 12. I don't know shit about turntables, but she has a set on a table. I ask how much. She tells me $20. I ask her if they work. She tells me she has no idea. Her dad got new ones and wants to get rid of these. I wait for dad. She tells me he's sleeping. She says dude, just take them. I'm like, number 20 can't be right, maybe 200? She looks at me like I'm stupid. Fine, he'll take them. I drive straight to a pawn shop and see what I can get for them, or if they even work. They fucking work. Dude looks up prices and comes back with a $1,200 offer. Best $20 I ever spent. Bet that kid got an earful from her dad when he woke up and realized the tables he was going to get rid of at the pawn shop had been practically given away. Possibly. Sometimes people are just wealthy enough to be removed from the cost of things and don't understand. But if they were doing a garage sale then probably not. Fugly /sad misshapen potted plants from the grocery store. They just need some love and it's so fun to see them grow. Are you my fiancé? Her room is full of succulents that were half dead and half off. Now they are all comically big and won't stop growing, and she's becoming a succulent god. R/houseplants and R/succulents are calling you. I bought this shirt from a market for $5. Fits so damn well I started using it as my main shirt. You have a main shirt? Doesn't everyone? Knockoff North Face hiking shoes in Vietnam. Cost me $20. Used and abused, and still going strong. For all we know they might have come from the exact same factory. I think there's a whole subreddit dedicated to finding off-brand products that are basically the exact same product as the brand one on AliExpress and other such sites. But I don't remember the name. If you remember it, please reply. Not my purchase, but still one of the best. My brother gifted me a Snuggie one year for Christmas. I had painstaking tracked down a bootleg album he wanted, and he got me a buy one, Get one free. Snuggie. I didn't speak to him for weeks. I have routinely used that damn Snuggie for every camping trip I've been on over the last 7 years, and I will tell you it has become the most useful gift I've ever gotten. My brother got me a Snuggie one year, a big nightmare before Christmas Snuggie. I think it might be purple. What a stupid gift. I was amused, but never really used it. It's a Snuggie. Then he had to go and die. So of course I'm never going to get rid of this dumb purple travesty. My kids love it, and I keep it neatly folded near the couch when it gets cold. I've used it a few times and I love it dearly because it reminds me of my brother's dumb teenage gift giving decisions. I bought official PlayStation wireless headphones for €20 a few years ago. They usually cost about €70 brand new. I thought it was a sketchy sale, but nope. They are fine, and I still use them to this day. I got an adjustable phone mount at the dollar store when I had an iPhone 4. Still use the same one with my iPhone X. Those are great. $17 Target brand boat shoes. I bought them about 6 years ago, and just wore them randomly for things like going to the grocery store, or running down to my car. Then I found they were great practice shoes for disc golf. They lasted 1.5 years of planting and twisting on concrete, before they finally folded. Went back. They've been discontinued for years. RIP. Target continually changes their clothing section, so if you like something, buy multiples, because it will be gone, or are branded in like 6 months. Costco fluffy flannels. It feels like a chinchilla is hugging you, and I've had mine for 3 years with no signs of wearing down despite almost daily use in the northeast winters. My wife got this fluffy fleece blanket from Costco, short on one side, long on the other, and oh my fucking god. Semicolon. I'll let nobody touch it but me.